G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Today we're having a quick chat about these, the Google Pixel Buds Pro 2, and what they were like when I used them on a plane recently. Let's jump in. Nowadays, using a pair of Bluetooth earbuds isn't just about listening to sick beats. There's plenty of other uses for them, from doing phone calls to the active noise cancellation and the ability to kind of keep the outside world from getting too close when you don't want it to. Now, one of the main ways that I use these is when I'm on planes, to just basically cut out all that noise that's around you in the cabin so that you can get some sleep. And I was recently in Bali, so I went over to Bali and I came back on the red eye. And so on the red eye, I was really relying on these guys just to be able to help me get to sleep. And I came across some interesting things in the use of that. Now, if you've been checking out some of my channel for a while, you'll know I've done some content on this already, including a video where I famously didn't have them in correctly. But that was because I kind of found them to be a little bit better inverted in my ears. They just sit better, but it's not the correct way. But it doesn't really matter which way you wear them in the example that I'm about to talk through, because I tried both as I was trying to get comfortable. So now, the curious thing here is that when you put these in, they don't look like much, and they're a lot lighter than the originals, but they're actually still quite bulky. That big fat end and that big kind of circle end right there protrudes from your ear. And as a result, what I found was it was really quite uncomfortable on the little headrest that the plane have, but also when I use a little pillow. I was on a Qantas flight, so I got all the goodies. But basically, as soon as you had your head one way or the other, you could really feel them in your ears. You were like leaning on this thing, and then that was taking a lot of the weight and then pushing that even further into your ear. So I actually found them quite uncomfortable to wear in that scenario. I don't know if you were necessarily translate to all the positions that you might use it, like to kind of just sleeping on a pillow on your couch, for example. But definitely in the harsh reality of a plane seat, it was quite uncomfortable to be able to lean on it with it in. And obviously you got both your ears, so there's not really anywhere to go. But the more interesting thing is that because these have the Tensor A1 chip in it, so they've got AI basically involved in the active noise cancellation, and that actually creates a pretty excellent experience from my testing with it when you just want active noise cancellation. So when you switch between it and transparency mode, there's a real noticeable difference. Like even when you think, oh, the active noise cancellation is not that great, then you turn on to transparency mode and you're like, far out, wow, it's a lot louder than I thought. So overall, I think the AI is doing a pretty good job at just working out what's around you, mitigating what you want to hear, and then just kind of giving you that even deadened tone that you're after in active noise cancellation. But on a plane, what I found was that the Tensor chip actually picked up on like the engine as being the sound that was flat, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe it. So basically, as soon as you basically leant into a pillow like this, it just actually pulled out the engine noise and really enhanced it in your ear. So it was trying to basically create a sound that was equal to the engine sound in your ear to nullify sound. I think that's what it's trying to do. So as opposed to deadening the engine sound, it actually turned it into a really high-pitched, more audible sound. And it would cut in and out basically depending on where the pillow was. So if you're kind of there and you're trying like not to get too much of a seal on the bud, because as soon as it fully sealed with a pillow, it then just pulled the engine sound out and just kind of made it really loud. But if you kind of broke that seal a little bit, the AI was obviously kind of going, oh, okay, there's all this sound going on, we'll cut it all out. But as soon as you kind of buried the pillow in there, it just fully focused on the engine sound. So real interesting curiosity there, but it basically meant that they weren't doing what I needed them to do on a plane. I'm really interested to hear if any of you guys have taken them on the plane yet, had a similar experience, or even smaller planes, seaplanes, light aircraft, stuff like that, maybe even buses. But obviously, it wasn't, just to reiterate, it wasn't happening when I was just sitting there. But as soon as I tried to lean against the pillow, which in itself wasn't that comfortable, as I just pointed out, as soon as I tried to lean against the pillow and it kind of enveloped the earbud in the pillow, its first reaction was to basically grab the rumble or whatever was coming through and enhance it rather than cut it out. So not great. And I was stuck sandwiched against the window with a dude next to me who was asleep, and I couldn't get out to get my other earbuds, which I usually use, which I know just deadened everything out, which were LG free tones or whatever. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you guys because there's a little bit of interesting feedback on these, which are otherwise performing really, really well. But just in that particular environment, they fell foul. And also any environment where you're thinking about wearing these and then leaning on them, such as lying in bed, leaning on a pillow, you're going to really feel these a lot more than you're going to feel some of the other earbuds on the market. All right, there you go, guys. That's a quick little, I don't know, quasi review, mini review, hyper-focused review on the Google Pixel Buds Pro 2. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chris Diaz. Check out my other videos, and until next time, I'll check you later.